You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Did you just... Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe...
Hefric 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will... well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
Huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Xion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevrect 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength. It's that it's sentient, too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up. Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, Do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
I wonder what Helganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No, I mean... Wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell? You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone a...
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
To the flaming law! Okay, here I go!
Watch this!
I'm not done! Dragon Swarm! Try this!
No further!
I'm not done!
Now I'm real mad!
Here's a healing art!
I'm not done!
First aid!
Okay, here I go! Try this!
I can carve through armor!
Take it! Not in your dreams! One more! Where are you going?
I'm on!
Eat
Easter!
Raging Cascade!
Rip and tear!
Lunarondo!
Do it!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Claw!
Illuminate the dark! Here's a healing art!
No escape!
Polar Blade!
Dragon Swarm!
Water!
Wind!
My call!
Tear!
Spread!
Searing Gale!
Raging Star! Evil!
No escape!
Blazer!
Wind!
Raging Cascade!
Lunarondo!
Dance in the wind!
Hurricane Thrust!
Air thrust!
Tear!
Like Astral
Searing
Raging
Gale!
Cascade!
You're mine!
Magic is there! Air thrust!
Lost in pain.
Healing circle!
Eat this! The
I'm
enemy's
sorry,
right on
come
the
together. We'll soon see about that!
Yes, ma'am!
The flaming cycle! Yours to be let free! Here I come!
Now,
It's over! No further!
let me help. I'll be saving
Severing
you.
wing!
First aid.
We barely managed to turn that battle.
You don't need to sound surprised.
Perhaps I'll put more faith in you then.
Well, I certainly won't argue.
Going?
Blow away!
Try
Armor
harder!
won't save you!
No!
Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off! Lunarondo! Rising Phoenix!
Neon, astral energy, full throttle!
Alphen,
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegis, remember? They probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for? We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. No, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Danon, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
Don't get careless!
Don't tell me!
These ones can run rings around us!
Ready to go!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint, I hear.
Nope, that is silly.
Fire ahead.
I'll tear you apart!
Dance in the wind! Feel!
Not today!
No further.
More for This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Do it! Shion! Go for it! Prepare to crumble! Hear me! Eat dirt! Feel! Water! Yeah,
Watch this!
Incineration wave! Double demon fang! Severing wing! Lunar warrior! Rising phoenix! You're mine!
I can carve through
It's
armor.
over!
I never miss!
You're mine!
Do it!
Supernova! Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Did you see?
Sure did. You were checking out Kisara from behind.
No, I wasn't!
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danans?
I'd say it's likely, which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Xion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate.
That crossing is driving me mad! Incineration wave!
They barely managed. Freaks! What did they just sit still?
Xion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Far enough!
Truck! Soaring right spear! Tear! Lunar rondo! Searing gale!
No further!
Blue escape!
Air thrust!
Lunar rondo! Rising phoenix!
I can carve through armor!
Blue escape! Severing wind!
Dohalim! Throw them away!
Dance! Enemies incoming!
Then we'll take them down!
You picked the wrong fight! Dragon form!
Frozen!
Hammer!
More circles?
Keep calm and take them down.
Lunar rondo! Rising phoenix!
Oh! Now I'm real mad!
Blue escape!
Into the fray!
Dragon swarm! Severing wind!
Nothing gets by me!
Searing gale!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Dragon swarm! Demon fang! Severing wind! Tear! Take this! Severing wind! Here I come! Soaring light spear!
Now!
Rising phoenix!
Frozen!
Hammer!
It's on! Hurricane thrust!
Take this!
It's over! Take this! My turn! More?
Denied!
Take this! Tear! Searing gale!
Swallow
You're mine! Dragon form! Try this! Explosive ring! Now I can let loose. Ignite!
Where are you going?
Remote!
Astral energy!
Say no more. Got it!
Well done!
Here I come!
Armor won't save you!
Hurricane thrust! Here I come! It's over! Here! Explosive ring!
I'll tear you apart!
Dragon swarm! Try this!
Now we're not...
I'm on it! That's enough!
Magic is out!
Ready to go!
Here I come! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! First strike!
Take this!
Talent soaring light spear!
Now!
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis! Lightning!
More?
I'm on a roll now!
Thrust!
Take it! Blast it!
Here!
Dance in the wind!
Megasonic thrust!
Talent
No escape!
Annihilation!
Hurricane! Soaring light spear! Rising phoenix! You're finished!
That'll bring you down! Come forth! Holy glimmer!
Double demon fast!
You shouldn't have messed with me!
Reload!
You're mine!
I'm going
It's
to need
over.
to use
This
all the
one's all
power
mine.
of my healing arts to accomplish this.
Take this!
Armor won't save you!
Ignite!
Really owe you.
Light astral
You're mine.
energy! Do it!
Reload!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Nothing more!
Lightning!
You made quick work of them!
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope always improve.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Xion actually look desperate.
Let's roll! Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one!
Not here!
Already on!
If it's in the sky,
Fire!
holy
Searing gale! Here I go! Double demon fang! Dragon swarm! First strike! I'll run you through! Explosive ring! More?
Ready and fresh!
I'm all stuck
Take
up
this!
in the wind!
It's over again! Talent power!
Denied!
There, got it!
Not today!
Illuminate
Take
the
this.
dark! Come forth,
You're
holy
mine.
glimmer! Mega
You're
ray!
finished!
Swallow
dance!
Here, do it!
Eagle assault!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alpin!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you! Holy ray!
I can carve through armor!
Dragon swarm!
Searing flame!
Try it!
I'm on it!
Explosive ring!
Not on my watch! Radiant, here! Do
Here
it!
I come! Remote!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Radiant
My turn!
light!
You're mine!
Damn it!
Rising Phoenix! Double demon fang! Dragon swarm!
Do it!
Severing...
Hey! Blow them away!
Illuminate the dark! Come
It's
forth,
on!
holy
Take
glimmer!
it! It's over!
Here's evil!
You're mine! It's over! Super Not...
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! There's always room for improvement.
Even in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be Zeugles somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster if we simply jump down instead.
You sound alarmingly serious when you say that.
got this.
This one's mine!
Severing wing!
I can't heal you forever!
Here I go! Now we're not...
Head! There!
Here I come! Lunar! Hurricane thrust!
Far enough!
You're mine! I can carve through armor! Can't get out of this!
Mega Ray!
Eat this! Too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up! Internal flashbang! It's time! Watch this! I'll take you all on! Burn it down!
Requires complete focus! Lightning conduct!
Swallow down!
Thunderblade! Illuminate the dark! Come forth!
You're mine! It's over!
Hold it together!
Here
Your
I come!
daughter! Hear my call!
I'll dare you! Take this!
Glacial Spear!
You're mine!
Freaking
Total demon fang!
Come forth! Holy Glimmer!
Severing wing!
Holy Land! Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
I'm on it! Now you see what I can do! Do it!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Water! Hear my call!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Super Sweep! The searing talon storm! This one's mine!
No further!
Here goes!
Now I'm in the... Not today!
Where are you going?
Here I come!
Now! Dragon! Get toasty!
Bird strike!
Right, next one!
Already on!
Mega Ray! Better! Watch them to
I'm not done!
Shining super... Photon Raging Cascade! Searing... Reload! Dance in the wind! Glacial Spear! Pierce evil! Freeze Laser!
Severing wing!
Photon
You're mine!
illuminate the dark! Come
Here
on!
I go!
Holy
Here I
Glimmer!
come!
It's Holy
You're
Land!
finished! What is it?
Hey, you okay?
I can still do this!
Lightning conduct!
Severing wing!
Ardex! Freeze Laser!
Denied!
Confiscated! Lightning!
Ready and
Cascade! Seal!
Annihilation! This one's all mine!
Mega Ray!
You're mine! Burn in hell!
Holy Land!
Carve through armor! Here I come!
Storm! Mega Ray!
You're finished!
By the power of eat dirt!
Soaring Light Spear!
I never miss!
Lunar welcome!
Come forth! By the power of
I have no limit! You'll pay for that! Severing wing!
Burning
Soaring Light Spear! Hurricane thrust!
This can't be happening!
Soaring Light Spear!
Come forth! Holy Glimmer! Holy Land!
Double Demon Fang! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Raging Cat! In here! This'll come in handy. Hit! Alright, it's showtime!
I can handle it.
Sleep now. This'll come in handy. Some fights are better left unfought. This might be some decent equipment.
And anything that makes battles easier is okay by me.
structures don't look like anything built by the Renans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone, while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrect 35 about it sometime. That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Finally. If only we could have flown with the wind to get here faster.
Looks like we get to sleep with a roof over our head.
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but you sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Romance? Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back. Whew!
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shion. But that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
You might just have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alphen's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to... What the... An ambush?
Sorry. There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
Insects as a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
Looks perfect and tastes just as good.
We've reached our destination.
That's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
This one's tough! You're mine!
Hear my
This
call!
one's all
Tear
yours.
you apart!
Now I can let loose!
Here's evil! Here I come!
Double demon fang!
Freeze Lancer!
Incineration wave! Dragon swarm! Damn it!
Here and now! Here's evil!
Burn!
Raging charge! More where that came from!
In a vine?
I'll heal you all!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
See that?
That training's paying off!
Shattering of those pieces!
Here I come!
Do it! Double
Light burst forth!
Radiant Genesis!
Well then, I should probably think about tonight's menu.
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way!
My word, this must be the work of Providence.
What now?
It means destiny. I I think it's a bit of an exaggeration, though.
Bad feeling about this.
You're finished! Talon Hurricane! Eagle Fly! It can hide itself? Amazing! Severing Wind! Backbreaking Shot! Here you go! Double Demon Fang! Watch it! Wind! Dragon Shell! Dragon! Try harder! Glacial Spear! Dragon Form! I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw!
I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this.
Severing Wind! Soaring Light Spear! Prepare to be sealed!
I'll fix you up. Recover!
Swallow Dance!
Here I call!
Double Demon Fang! You're finished! Dragon Swarm!
This one's mine!
Take this! Talon Hurricane! Watch it! Explosive Ring!
Storm!
Here I come! Double Demon Fang!
It looks like you got this one covered.
Now you're mine! I'll smash you! You're finished! Double Demon
Lightning
Fang!
Raging Cascade! Radiant Spear! Here I go! Radiant Flood! Here!
Incineration Wave! Dragon Swarm!
Come forth!
Try this!
Holy
Now Explosive Ring!
By the power of
Far enough! Take the hurricane! It's over!
First aid! Just wait!
Now I'm in the groove!
Oh!
Now I'm real mad!
Mega Ray! Radiant Storm! Here's a healing arm!
There you go! I feel like me again.
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got it! I'll leave it to you!
Use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this.
Incineration Wave! Dragon Swarm!
I never miss! Thunderblade!
Eagle Assault! No further! Talon Severing Wind!
Standing form!
Demon Tail! I can carve through armor!
I'll heal you all!
Crush! Incineration Wave! Take this!
Healing Cascade!
Severing Wind! Try harder! My turn!
I'll get you with the wind! Air cover!
Try harder!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! Not on my watch!
I can handle it.
Burn!
I'm only getting started!
Dragon
Raging
Swarm!
Storm!
Swallow Dance!
Mega Ray! Lightning
Explosive
Condemn!
Ring!
There you go! Don't let up! Illumination! Hold together! Just a little longer!
Thanks for the sympathy.
Get it together! We need you informed!
I'm sorry to be a father.
We've all got it.
I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw!
Talon Hurricane! Here I come!
Anything normal.
Lightning Condemn!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
It was a close thing.
This won't be easy.
Don't be such a pessimist.
Okay, here I go.
Now I'm in the groove.
Incineration wave!
Now you see what I can do. In a bind.
Dragon swarm!
Hey, when did I get so popular? Did you hear it now?
Take this!
Illuminate.
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Where are you going?
Here I come! It's over!
I'll heal you all. We do it.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Will this help?
My turn! Take this!
Arch field.
Fine, not too long ago.
Mine! It's over!
Thank you.
Light Burst 4!
Radiant Genesis. I think I'm getting stronger.
Hey, that looks pretty good. I have a bad feeling about this.
Here I come! Time to cross blade!
I'll finish you here and now!
Here, let me help you.
Dragon swarm! Eternal devastation!
Hear my call.
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Gale Force! Raging Cascade!
Not a chance!
Not in your dreams!
Eagle Fly! It's over! Done with it! Take this!
Raging
It's over!
Healing Circle!
Eagle Fly!
What would I do to
Thanks, Sheila.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll be there.
Searing Gale!
Dance of the wind!
Try harder! Eternal devastation! Incineration wave! Try harder!
Magic is there!
Dragon swarm!
Here! Holy Land!
Take this!
Glacial Spear! Here's Eagle! Talon
Take
Spore!
this!
Blazer!
No further! Severing wind! Searing gale!
I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough on that.
Yes, ma'am. Armor won't save you.
You're finished! Time to let it rip! You're mine! You're finished!
Eagle Dive! I'll tear you apart!
Dragon Form! Severing wind! Hurricane thrust! Soaring light spear!
Eagle
Lunar
Assault!
Rongo! Rising Phoenix! Try harder! My turn!
Where are you going?
Lightning orb! Illuminate
Try harder!
Things come to an end.
Holy
Will this
Glitter!
happen? Watch it!
Holy
Take this!
Light!
Ready to go!
Healing Skywalk!
Watch it!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Take that!
You're finished! Try harder! Here I come!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Now you see what I can do!
Alright!
It's over!
I'll tear you apart!
Hear my call! There you go! Don't let up! Pile!
Burn!
Take this!
You're mine!
Watch this!
You're finished!
Can't be swirled! Alright!
Do it!
It's showtime! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
that's no ordinary enemy I see over there.
That equipment should come in handy.
Brace yourself! This one's tough! Take this! Try harder! I owe you one! It's over! Try harder! This is bad, right?
Very bad!
I don't feel so good.
Take this!
Where are you going?
Whirlwind snap!
Take this!
Sleep now.
I'm ready!
This will come in
Now
handy.
you see what I can do!
Radiant! Here! Damn it! Out of ammo! One more time!
Leave the ensnaring to me. Yeah!
Try this! Explosive ring!
Now or never. What a relief! You shouldn't have messed with me!
Searing gale! Burn! Oh no! Quick strike!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
What's this?
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Eat this! Ready?
Don't mind if I do.
Eat this!
Flame!
I'll smash you!
Reload!
Here I come!
Dragon
You're
Shell!
finished!
Soaring light spear!
Lunar Rongo!
Searing flame!
Searing gale!
Chinese supernova!
You're mine!
Royal dance!
It's over!
Leave the cosmic to me!
Here's astral energy!
And that's freaking does it!
You're finished! Take this! You're mine! You're finished! It's time!
One's mine!
Dragon Swarm! Try this!
I'm just getting
Explosive ring! Ignite!
You shouldn't have messed with me! I'll smash you!
Here, let me help.
Eternal devastation! First strike!
I'll finish you here and
You're mine!
Here,
It's over! Sword! Rising! Try this!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Glacial spear. Here's the evil.
You're mine!
Confiscated.
Strike! Eternal devastation!
Incineration
wave!
Raging cascade.
Leave the charges to me!
Far enough. Recover. What would I do without you?
Can't get out of this!
Water, hear my call. Wind astral energy.
Incineration wave! Take this!
Illuminate the dark with my arc.
Rising hit! Here I come!
I can't hold on much longer. Need to pull. Water. Raging storm.
Flame inside me! Yours!
Here's
Be
the
let
message.
free!
Mega ray. Puddle.
You picked the wrong shot!
I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this. Deus Roar.
I'll smash you!
Chinese Supernova. This one's mine. Raging cascade.
Try this!
In here.
Explosive ring!
Wall cuts away. Here goes. Not on my watch. Mega ray.
Do it.
Flame.
Rinwell! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
I've used a bit too much healing.
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
Like it does it!
Not a chance!
Here, let me help.
Giant Swarm! Try this!
Careful. That's some kind of camouflage. I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to accomplish this.
Glimmer strike!
I'm just getting started!
Win!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Lightning! Now!
Come and face me!
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Easy! Way to go!
Now you see what I can do!
I'm not done! You picked the wrong fight! Severing wing!
Do it!
Arcane thrust!
Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Glacial spear. Here's the evil.
This
It was nice.
You're mine! You're finished!
One breeze laser!
Strut! Severing wind!
Searing
Fire!
complete focus!
First strike! It's over! This could do it! Strut! Take this! Rip and tear! Here I come!
Now, nothing can bring you down.
I'm expert coming through! Holy land! Show you what my art can do!
Here I come! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Watch it! Not a chance! You're finished!
Ready and ready! Lunar field! More for the stockpile!
Let's go! Eternal devastation! Incinerate you away!
Watch you all tucked away!
Dragon form! Blow away!
Raging sword!
Explosive ring! Burn in hell! Eternal devastation! Severing wind! Searing gale!
Crumble!
Armor won't save me! I'm on a roll now! Struck!
Let me help!
Dragon swarm! Again!
You require a head.
I'm out of ammo!
Severing wind! Searing gale! Eternal devastation! No further!
Control my
Severing wind!
One more!
Rising! Try this!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! I'm ready!
Here I come!
I believe it! Super here!
Try harder!
A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Dragon swarm!
Eat You alright?
Yeah, I'll be okay.
Here, let me help.
I feel like it was nice while it lasted. Now you see what I can do.
Astral art?
That's my cue.
Shut him down!
Now make it blue. It's time.
Raging cascade.
You see what happened there as you crossed.
Eternal
Shouldn't have done
devastation!
that.
Dance in the wind. Here I come.
That's enough!
Raging storm.
Incineration wave!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it! I'll end you!
This one's all mine!
Talon storm!
Don't mind if I do.
Dragon swarm! Burn!
Champion swirl.
Severing wind! Remote!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
I think I'm getting stronger.
Oh yeah? Think you could beat me at arm wrestling?
What if I'm not beating you?
Right. I'll just go on ahead then. What do you think this place was for? Ah!
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegis. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedures somewhere.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danon, or rather, Renin bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Be careful! It's huge!
What is with all the huge lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary Dougal. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourselves. All bets are off when it comes to this thing. Take this! First strike! It's over!
Raging
Done!
Storm!
It's done! Soaring Light Spear! Rising Falcon!
Ready to go! Here I go!
Getting stuck! Severing Wind! Here I come!
Raging Storm!
Its head is its weak point?
We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
We're on a roll now!
Wind! Take this! You're finished!
It's time!
Outstanding form! Storm!
Crush! Take this!
I'm on it!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Supernova!
Done!
Ready!
Done!
Downfall!
You're finished!
Armor won't save you!
Sleep now! Water! Here
I come!
Get confiscated!
You're finished! Here I come!
Far enough!
Here's Blazing Orb!
Severing
I
Wind!
never miss! Up and down!
Soaring
Illuminating
Light Spear! Hurricane Thrust!
Holy Land!
Rising
I'm out of ammo!
Falcon!
Watch him!
Here I come! It's over!
Light Emerald Damage! Mega Ray! Air Thrust!
You picked the wrong fight!
Gale Force! Show you what my heart can do! Rise up!
Incineration Wave!
Hurricane!
Take this!
Resurrection!
I owe you one!
Gale Force!
You're
Illuminate
mine!
the dark!
Carve through armor!
Holy Glimmer!
Prepare to be sealed!
It looks like you got this one covered!
Explosive Ring!
Eagle Assault! Downfall!
Take this!
Damn it!
You're finished!
Illuminate the dark!
You're mine!
Holy Glimmer!
Severing
Holy
Wind!
Land!
Take this! Hurricane Thrust! Soaring Light Spear! Rising Falcon! You're mine!
Eat dirt!
It's over!
No further!
Annihilating Orb! Mega Ray!
Eternal
Far enough!
Here's a healing
I'm
orb!
not done! This one's all mine!
Hurricane!
Crush!
Eagle
Lightning
Dive!
Orb!
Dragon
Raging
Swarm!
Hurricane!
Crush!
Ray! Flame of
Take on the raging wave!
This one's mine!
You're mine!
I'll smash you!
Here I
You're
go!
finished! Ignite!
Dance in the wind!
Wind!
Air thrust!
Amazing.
Searing Gale! Take this! Dragon Swarm! Try this! Explosive Ring!
Holy Glimmer!
First
Holy
strike!
Land!
Crush!
I really owe you one. I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough on our hands.
Yes, ma'am.
Hear my second
Here I come! You're finished!
Now or never.
You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Raging Storm! Reload! Here goes! Ow!
Lost my focus.
Searing Flame! Reload!
You're
Lightning
mine!
Orb! Raging Tempest! Here's evil! Photon Sword Blazer!
Dragon Swarm! Eternal Devastation!
Hear me! Flame of Fury!
Incineration Wave!
Guiding Supernova! Here's a healing orb!
Denied!
First aid!
No escape! No further!
Gale Force!
Severing Wind!
I'm on! Reload! I'm out of ammo! Here, let me help you! Your dreams! First aid!
Dragon Swarm!
Smash
you!
Shining Supernova!
Where
are you going? Raging Cascade!
Starlight Spear! Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! Here I come!
Here's illuminate the
Here I come! It's over! Dragon Swarm! First strike! I'm on explosive ring! First strike! By the power of water! First strike!
Photon dance in the wind!
Ignite!
Whirlwind snap! Field! Get on in there! Burning strike! This is my call! Alright!
First strike! Incineration Wave! Dragon Swarm! Swallow Dance! Explosive ring!
Tear him up! Ready to go!
Take this! I'll finish you here and now!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complaint idea.
Nope, that'd be silly.
Searing Gale!
Dance in the wind! In here!
Here I come!
Art expert,
It's over! Dragon Swarm!
They're not playing around! Healing circle!
Here I go!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Raging all the power of my healing arts to accomplish it! Dance in the wind!
Now!
In here! This one's mine! I'll be saving this one! Take this! Lock up, lad! Only getting started! Crossblade! Arts require complete focus!
Incineration Wave!
I'm on a roll now! Lightning condensed!
You're mine!
Water!
It's
Hear
over.
my call! Eat this! This one's mine!
Severing Wind!
Raging cascade!
Hurricane
Flare!
Thrust! Searing Gale!
Out of arrow!
Here I come! I'll smash you! Wind! You're mine! Here comes something big!
Try to die!
Infernal Torrent! It's over!
Tempest!
Ignite! Wind!
I can't heal you forever!
You're
In a bind? Holy glimmer! Hold on to your art. Here I come!
My turn!
It's over! Not on my watch!
Take this! Dragon Swarm!
Nothing gets by me!
There you go. You like me again.
I owe you, Tion.
Healing is what my arts do best.
All mine can do is cut. Havoc and destruction. Hear me, flame of steel! Raging
Now you see what I can do.
Eternal Devastation!
illuminate the dark!
I'll bring you down.
Dragon Swarm!
Holy land!
Here, let me help.
Explosive Ring! You picked the wrong fight!
Side.
Raging storm!
Here I come!
What my art can do!
The finishing blow.
You'll need to beat me to it, kid.
I'll take on that challenge. These
Explosive Ring!
fists have got your name on them.
First strike!
There you go! Don't let up!
You're mine! Severing Ring!
Slow down to your art!
Hurricane Swarm!
Side. I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw. Crumble. Ready and quick.
Illuminate the dark!
Incineration Wave!
Denied.
Holy glimmer!
You're mine!
Holy land!
Take this! You're
Don't
finished!
mind if I do! The enemy is going all out!
You're mine!
I can carve through armor.
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation!
Try this!
That's enough.
Explosive Ring!
I'm on a roll now.
You picked the wrong fight!
Air
Severing Wind! Rising Falcon! Burn! Hurricane Thrust! Searing Gale!
I'm ready! Wind astral energy! Raging
You're mine!
Let me show you what my art can do!
You're mine!
I'm going to need to
You're
use all the
finished!
power
Can't get
of
out
my
of
healing
this.
arts to accomplish this!
Wind! Here I come!
More with that resurrection!
Tear! Hurricane Thrust!
Come forward!
Searing Gale!
Radiant holy land!
Burn! I'm not done!
Now I'm in the groove. Far enough.
Raging cascade!
Take
It's
that
time
move.
for it! Here comes the big one! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Burn!
I'll finish you here
Right
now!
devastation! You're finished!
Ready!
You're my...
By the power of
Try harder! Not a chance!
Lightning condemned!
Not a chance!
Thunder blade!
You're mine!
Having a dream!
It's over!
Annihilation! Here's our way! Illuminate! Do it! Come forward! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rena's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dohalim's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
So, looks like the Helganquil have been engineering Zeugles too. Why doesn't that surprise me at this point?
The creatures we've been encountering here have been a little different to what we're used to fighting. But I'm pretty sure they're Zeugles too.
Do you think they were engineered using creatures native to the area?
Indeed. However, based on the current circumstances, I would guess these Zeugles are all that's left of the planet's fauna now.
You mean, there might have been native owl species here once upon a time too?
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look! Everything's upside down!
The furnishings are, at least. No, you're right. The whole room's flipped on its head.
So what was once down is now up, and vice versa. I suppose the teleporter reversed our orientation then.
guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all you can think about?
Bear in mind, the core of Rena now sits above us. I pray that we won't encounter many stairs along the way.
Oh man, I hope I live long enough to regret things.
Prepare to be sealed!
Now I'm in the groove!
Anything in armor is all mine!
Illuminate the dark!
Aim for the weak
Holy
spot!
glimmer! Healing circle! Holy
I'm
light!
on it! Sonic! I'm ready!
Eat
Splendid
this!
flash!
I'll heal you all!
All mine! Severing one!
Raging storm!
Fearing
I
death!
can't heal you forever!
Save you!
I owe you, Sion.
Healing is what my art is best.
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction. This one's mine! Holy light!
Sonic thrust!
Here goes! You're mine!
Try harder! Burn in hell!
Raging death, not in your dreams! Take it!
Dragon
Raging
form!
storm!
Burn!
Mega
Try
ray!
this!
Annihilation!
Explosive ring!
Mega ray! Raging death!
All fitting to
Fly
now!
to the wind! Feel! Healing circle there with
Pierce
together!
through!
Thanks so much!
Can't get out of this!
You've got your name on them!
Severing wing! All fitting to Hurricane thrust! Feeling gale! Storm! Okay,
Smash you!
now, while it's reeling!
Take it down!
I'll tear you up!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Sonic thrust! Try harder! Not a chance!
Talon hurricane!
Blending flash!
Inferno punch! On a roll now!
Try this! It's over!
Denied! This one's mine! Illuminate the dark! Come forth, holy
Rising! Try this! Inferno turret! Sonic thrust!
Mega ray! Raging
Blending flash! Eat this!
Annihilation! Dance in the wind! Nothing here! Don't mind if I do!
It's over!
in the groove.
Dragon swarm!
I'll smash you!
Mega ray!
Take this!
Shining supernova!
No further!
There you go! Don't let up! Radiant thunder blast!
This is looking good!
My turn! Come forth, holy
Oh
glimmer!
no!
Holy land!
You shouldn't have messed with me!
Eat this!
Dragon show! Rip and tear! All
Lightning
you
storm!
hear me now! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! I'm on it!
Glacial spear!
Turbo!
Shining supernova! Raging
Sonic
cascade!
thrust!
Dance in the wind! Denied!
Dragon swarm!
It looks like you've got this one covered!
I'll smash you! Now I'm in the
Ignite!
groove!
I never miss! Go to lightning attack!
I'm not done! Pierce through!
Illuminate the
Goodbye!
Holy land!
Dragon swarm!
Fury!
Totally! In an instant! Impact clock!
I'm even stronger than before. What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rena.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rena's great spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Rena Alma.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That shows how deeply we've ventured into Rena.
And how close we've come to the real enemy.
So here's a question. We came all this way to Rena on the assumption the Rena Alma's here, right?
Just don't say it, Law.
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
I said don't.
I can understand why you might be concerned, Law. But you need to remember that there are people it affects more directly than you.
Oh, sorry.
We've managed to make it this far believing. Losing faith now won't do us any good. We're better off focusing our anxiety elsewhere.
Such as?
The Great Spirit. If Hevrect 35's to be believed, our enemy won't just be handing over the Renas Alma to us. At least, not without a fight.
Not only that, but that same enemy just gulped down more than an entire world's worth of astral energy.
Point taken. It may be strange to say, but when I'm fighting, or at least know what needs to be done, it helps me a lot. I don't doubt myself as much. So thanks, both of you. The floor's on the ceiling and the ceiling's on the floor. This whole thing's making my head spin. Why would they even do something like this?
The Helganquil can bend life forms to suit their will. Nothing they could do at this point would surprise me.
The ceiling is on the floor. That doesn't weird you out?
What good is a team made up of members who all share the same opinions on everything? And besides, when you get to be at my ripe old age, one begins to consider it quite uncouth to show one's true emotions at times.
Oh, come on, Grandpa. You can't be that old.
The sands of time wait for none of us, lad.
Yeah, we'll see. Though at this rate, I guess I'll have to live long enough to get as old as you first, huh?
You will. And when the time comes, I look forward to hearing you change your tune on the matter.
Man, I hope I live long enough to regret this.
It?
Don't give up! Reload! Lightning of raging captain! By the power of water! Dance in the wind! Sleep now! This'll come in handy.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Sharpness!
Here you go!
Resuscitation!
Here, let me help.
First aid!
What a relief!
Lightning control! I'm all set! Illuminate the
I can handle it.
Holy lamp!
You hear it now!
Here, let me help.
First aid! The wise warrior knows when to call it quits.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Try this! Explosive ring!
Your voice won't save you from me.
We got flyers!
I've got this. Let a marksman handle it.
All yours! Sonic thrust! I can carve through armor! Through!
Radiant, here!
Swallow dance! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Dance in the wind!
Wind! You're
Air
done!
thrust!
Sword
Do it!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! See that? That training's paying off! I'm not done!
I never miss! If it's in the sky, it's mine! Raging campaign! Hear me! Dance in the wind! Radiant thrust! Here! Damn it!
Explosive ring!
Do it!
Still!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lightning more incoming! First aid!
More
This one's
Zuko?
mine! Keep calm and take them down!
We got the advantage! Good! Just have to make sure we keep it. Don't worry, because Raw's on it. Take this! These fists have got your name on them! Fearing
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
The enemy wields arts too.
You'll soon see about that!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Enemies incoming!
Then
I'm
we'll
guessing
take
that's
them
your
down!
uses now. Then,
Told ya! Lies unstoppable!
then you're not like that all the time. Hear my calls!
Try this! Dragon Swarm!
Not on my watch!
You're
Illuminate!
mine!
Here I go!
Sonic thrust!
More
Dance!
Now you see what I watch this!
Alright, it's showtime!
You're mine!
More things!
You're mine!
Thunder field! Reinforcements? Alright, it's
Can't
showtime!
get out of this!
Dance in the wind!
Not today!
Field! I'll be saving it! Now! Astral energy!
Say no more!
Will this help?
More?
Lightning condemned!
Here I come!
Hit it one more time!
Try this!
Pull myself to glacial
Running
speed!
flat!
Here's the only land!
Eat this! Explosive ring!
Hurricane! Far enough!
You're mine! You're finished!
Hold on to your
Do
arc!
it, Shion!
Here, go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
More? Pierce through!
Lightning blast!
Do it!
All yours, Kisara!
Glacial spear!
Not
Here's
again.
evil!
Swallow dance! Rising... Try this!
Laser field!
Bring you down!
Raging hurricane! This is it!
Now you see what I can do!
Don't mind if I do!
Dragon Swarm! Explosive ring!
Where are you going? Raging cascade!
Take this!
Sleep now!
Try this! Brendan Flat!
Glacial spear!
Can't get out of
Here's
this.
evil!
Eat dirt!
One at a time! Freeze laser!
These fists have got your name on them!
Rising...
Ready to go!
Inferno Turret!
Dragon Shout!
You're mine!
Denied!
You're finished!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
More?
Raging hurricane!
You're finished!
Glacial spear! Here's evil!
Inferno Turret!
Sonic
Thrust!
Eat this! Inferno punch! Healing! Circle!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time?
I really don't.
Holy hand! Here's evil!
I could do without this pain.
Now I'm in the groove!
Not today!
I'll heal you all!
I have no limits!
Dance in the wind! Heal!
Go! Raging cascade!
That's ready to go!
Thanks for the healing.
Watch yourself, okay?
Yeah, you too.
Severing wing! Tear! Soaring light spear! Rising trident!
Freeze laser!
Infernal turret!
I'm just getting started!
Sonic thrust!
Here goes!
Will this
I'll
help?
take that!
Where are you going?
It's over!
Armor won't save you!
Now, it's over! Astral energy! Full throttle!
I've still got a ways to go!
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this place is.
Or perhaps they simply thrived freely here under such harsh conditions.
I don't give a damn why they're here. We'll burn it all to the ground.
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rena, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rena's energy?
Yeah. It's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rena's will is thinking.
But Rena's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rena's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Rinwell!
There was only meant to be one world. And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear? What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell? Rinwell, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I think.
What were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants. How it feels. Rena's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rena were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rena's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted, like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire, and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rena and Dana, respectively. The Renis Alma, as far as we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all six. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rena into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Shion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rena, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
To think, all this started because of the Great Spirit's desire to keep living. The only reason it craves energy is because it's dying from starvation. When you think about it like that, maybe the things it's done aren't so strange after all.
If Rena had been more like Dana, things would have worked out a whole lot better.
It's like Hevrecht 35 told us. The Danan and Renan spirits are meant to be completely different beings.
Rena's energy amassing in one place led to its developing a powerful will. But that also made it crave energy, sapping Rena dry until it perished.
Whereas Dana's energy is dispersed, meaning its will never developed to the same extent. And without that hunger, Dana the planet was spared.
As for which is correct, well, I'm not sure it's our place to even say. Still, I can't help but think it reminds me a lot of the dichotomy of the human condition.
Dichotomy? What do you mean?
Those who know not satisfaction are driven to keep devouring without limit. But those who are content with their lot in life rarely fulfill their potential. I imagine it's likely that the larger Rena's great spirit grew, the more and more powerful its hunger also became.
Everything in moderation. When all's said and done, maybe that's the hardest thing for people to learn.
This won't be easy. Don't be such a pessimist. Here I go. Champion!
No escape!
I'll shoot them out of the sky.
Dragon Force! Talon Hurricane! Aim for the weak spot. Inferno Punch! This one's all mine. You're mine!
This will come in handy. Fierce evil. Air thrust. Now in the sky is mine. What?
What you
Take this! I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough on our time.
Yes, ma'am. I can carve through armor.
Dragon Form!
Lightning orb! Lightning
Roll away!
Annihilation!
Explosive ray!
Freaking does it!
Burn!
Thunder field!
Pierce
I'm all
through!
stuffed up!
Severing wind! Tear!
Blast in the wind!
Soaring light spear! I'm not done!
These fists have got your name on them!
Where are you going?
You're finished! This one's all mine!
Lightning
Fire
orb!
dance!
Fury! Burning strike! Water! Hear my call! Thunder field! Blood!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this!
I'll heal you all!
Sword! Pierce through!
Hit! Raise
Take
the
this! Burn!
Hear my call! It's weakened!
Why'd you heal me?
To stop me dying?
Now or never.
I've got Here's evil!
Trending
Ready and ready!
Here's a healing
I'm
arc.
not done! I can carve through armor! Dragon Swarm!
Illuminate the dark. Come forth,
Denied.
holy glimmer.
Dragon
Holy
Swarm! Try harder! My turn! No escape! Dragon Swarm! Pierce through!
Illuminate
Time
the
to
dark.
let it rip!
Come forth, holy
All
glimmer.
take this! Come to an end! Severing Wind!
Eat this.
Sorry, Light Spear!
Arts require complete
First strike! Hurricane Thrust!
There.
I'm on it!
Again.
Rising Falcon!
That's
This one's coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Oh,
No
sparkling
further.
stars of light.
Here I
Rain
come.
down and purify.
Burn in hell! First strike!
I never miss.
I'll tear you apart! Pierce through!
Radiant light. Here.
Let's tear 'em up!
Meteor storm. Dance in the wind.
Dragon Swarm!
Leave the enemy's arcs to me.
No complaints here! I'll tear you apart!
Spear. Here's evil.
I'll tear you apart!
Blazer. Shining supernova.
Nothing
gets
by
me.
Here I come! Armor won't save you!
Tempest Wall.
Sonic Thrust!
Banana, let's go. Hear me. Flame of fury. Tunnel.
Rending Blast!
Now
Dragon
try.
Swarm!
Hear my call.
Try this!
That's freaking good.
Explosive Ring!
Flame of fury. Thunder
Fire!
Ball.
Talon Hurricane!
Here, let me help.
Fire!
First shining supernova.
This one's all mine! I'm not done!
Illuminate the dark. Holy glimmer. Holy wall. Illuminate the dark. Come forth. Holy glimmer.
Okay, here I go! That freaking does it! Eat this! You're mine! Talon Hurricane! In a vine, Eagle Fly! Dragon Swarm!
Mega Ray. Feel.
Away! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous Claw!
Take this. Where are you going? Oh, sparkling stars
Burn
of
it
now.
hell! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclops!
I felt better, that's for sure.
Wherever we go on this planet, there are machines littered everywhere.
It's impressive to look at as a bystander, but I sure wouldn't want to live here with all of this around.
I know what you mean. There are no fish here. I couldn't cook any of my delicious dinners for you all if we lived here.
Clearly the worst point against it.
I hope I live long enough to regret this. I can carve through armor! Leave the charges to me! Far enough! Now I can let loose! Pass through! Talon Storm! Sonic Thrust! Talon Hurricane! Blending Flow! On the wall now!
Illuminate the dark! I'll heal you all! Holy grip!
I'll tear you apart! Yeah, you're mine!
I don't know what I'd do without you.
Perhaps now isn't the time.
See what happened there as you
Really
crossed? Shouldn't have done that. Try harder! My turn! Inferno Punch! Severing Wind! Eagle Assault!
I can't hold on much longer! Thanks for the healing.
Watch yourself, okay?
In a bind?
Yeah, you too.
Pierce through! Sonic Thrust! Try this! Try harder!
Need to pull myself together. This one's mine!
Rip and tear! I'll smash you! Take this!
Raging Storm!
Severing Wind!
Hit!
Soaring Light Spear!
Ice Prison!
Eat Rising Falcon! Pierce Take this! Denied! Glimmer Dragon!
Mega Ray! Cascade! In here!
Away!
Burn in hell! Dragon form!
Eagle
Try
Fly!
this!
I'll tear you apart! Now
Liquid!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon shout! I'm just let's tear him up!
Try harder!
The earth throbs in pain.
In a bind?
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind
Now
them.
I'm in trouble.
I'll leave it to you!
I can carve through earth!
You're mine! Pierce through! Rending flash! An astral arch?
That's my cue.
Shut him down.
Here I come! Sonic thrust!
Get on it!
Rending flash!
Alright, it's here time! That'll bring you down! Water, hear my call!
Try harder! Strike!
It's time! I'm sorry.
Stay away from my friend!
Take this!
Pierce through! Rending flash!
Radiant Pierce!
Dragon swarm! This one's
I don't even know the word defeat.
Pull it together, Law.
Sorry, right? I'm calm.
Vixen to it!
By the power of water!
I'm on it!
Do not!
You're right!
Field!
It's over!
Water, hear my call! Red! Hear me!
Try harder! Try harder!
Let the marksman handle this!
I'm on it. Now you see what I can do.
I'm not done!
I never miss!
I'll tear
Dragon
you apart.
war! Try harder!
Get you up!
My turn!
Watch them weak!
You're mine! Dragon form! Try this!
Illuminate the dark! Come forth! Holy
Explosive
quiver!
ring!
In a bind?
Holy run!
Eat dirt!
Reload! One more time! Mega
Dragon swarm!
Do it!
Double me! In an instant! Impact block!
Hey! Anyone else think this might be a touch too dangerous?
Ridwell's right. We should fall back to regroup and try again later.